support. And also, I think on different from that is that with the resources that Makueni have, with the partnership that they have, with the leadership that is already there, with the natural resources that are already there, and that the government is willing to, to put its own resources, but it's also willing to be held accountable by its people and by its partners. I think those were some of the things that Christian Aid is very interested in. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Janet. I think Janet has also really reiterated what Mr. Enrico said, that it's really about leadership, about the focus on the community, and the ability to be able to hold the county government accountable. This is what endears Makueni to many partners. So over to you, Mr. Nyetai. Counties and partners have to be aligned. Right? For them to pursue values, goals, and objectives with those of the county government as you pursue partnership.
Yeah, thank you for that question. And I think before I attempt to respond, to just thank the Makueni county government, just I think as my colleague from Health Strat mentioned, for putting us together, and bringing us together, be able to discuss, partnerships. This is really valuable, especially for Japago, who works, I think, about that. Unique to Makueni, and we are hoping other counties can copy this. I can just, before Governor, Your Excellency, I don't know whether you remember your own quotes in one of the 6 projects you are launching recently or some time back. You said we're moving from partnerships to friendships, and really, I think this exemplifies that. We're moving from partnerships to friendships, and friendships, whether the money comes or not, we still remain committed to the friendships that Makueni County has committed to. So I think for me, in the county alignment, for me, it's really about how we support locally led development. And I think for me, I was reflecting here, and at the risk of sounding boastful, I think we have one of the longest running partnerships with Makueni County, about 15 years. And I was reflecting, how much longer should we continue to work in Makueni? When will Makueni have their own feet to run the journey, to do the kind of work that we are doing? Because for us, our challenge really is, how do we work ourselves out of a job and have capacity at, county level, at local level, to be able to do the innovations, to be able to do the activities that
recording in progress,
our people to move forward. I think the other element really is about aligning to the values of partnerships. And, for me, what is really exciting about this particular gathering that also aligns with the organizational ideals is really about looking for partnerships approach. And we also have like a one-person approach. We don't see a person from the health side, from the agriculture side, from, if a woman is poor in Makueni, is it because they didn't have food, perhaps? Is it because they didn't have good roads, they didn't have good education? part of the reason partners are funded is because there is little trust in governments to be able to be accountable to resources. So I think that being accountable for resources and using them efficiently is also part of the values that have really solidified our partnerships for the last 15 years in Makueni. We're looking forward to continuing that and to continue the values that we hold dear. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Paul. Paul has talked about a government that can shed a tear. I'm actually tempted to ask us to to pause for a minute and shed a tear. No, that's on a light note. But he's talked about dignity, compassion, and you've also brought about the element that partners often bring to the table, that is innovation. And so, pivoting to you, Joseph Mutuleli, how can partners spur innovation within the county?
Okay. So my name is Joseph Mutueleli. So I know Kapombe struggled to mention that name. It's Mutueleli. So it's very hard to speak after such distinguished people because all my talking points have ticked. They have been said. The county would have otherwise spent more resources to actually do that. So in terms of what we have seen and why we are happy work with Makueni County is, and I want to echo someone here before who said, and actually it was you, Governor, who were saying COG as a word. I'm going to Makueni, and then we can discuss the other counties. And the reason for that is because, one, this is the first of its kind. I'm working in 22 counties. I've never been invited in such a meeting. So the first thing that has enabled us to really to work and find this as a very friendly county is the leadership right from your level to your technical teams. Because the project actually we are implementing in Makueni County, when we came to the county health management team through Waziri Health, they told us we want to be at the driver's seat of this project and actually established technical teams to provide oversight in implementation of this. So my work is very, very simple when I'm coming to Makueni County because everything is worked out for me. I just have to provide that technical support. So in terms of our investment on what we have seen and what we are planning to do, I think we've seen the county highlighting the gap of that 4 billion. So we know that resources will not always be sufficient. And for the next 2 years as a project, we are planning to spend 53 million Kenya shillings for activities within Makueni County. And what this means is, we are very open and willing to work with you to see how can we work and generate innovations for the county to be able to continue to achieve same results at the minimum inputs possible. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Joseph. I think Joseph has clearly highlighted how Jacaranda Health is working with the county government of Makueni in innovative initiatives that actually help the county to save on the resources they would spend. I hope you're putting together some questions that you'd like to pose to the panelists. I'll just take a few more questions from our panel, and then I'll invite you to pose any questions you may have. Back to you, Enrico. Accountability is two-way. It's a two-way tango, if you may. So how can the county government of Makueni hold you, as Mr. Enrico and ENI, accountable to what you commit to do? Mr. Enrico and ENI, accountable to what you commit to do?
Okay. With the governor and the county of Makueni, and the common vision, because innovation, sustainability is matters that is always in our scope, in our background, in our target. So when you have a common vision, it's more easy to implement something, to go ahead fast in the implementation.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Enrico. Enrico has talked about the need to have a common vision, a partner that is reliable, that they can trust, and also more operational issues such as having a plan. You talked about the 4-year plan that ENI has, that is reviewed and renewed every year with the county government. Over to you, Janet. What sort of challenges, other counties that stops partnerships between partners and county governments from full potential?
Okay, so I think one of the things His Excellency said earlier is that he has an open door policy. And I think that is one of the key opportunities that we don't get in the other counties. So recently, like for us, Christian Aid, we signed a new MOU with the county government of Makueni, and I think this is the second one. And it has spelled out the possibilities of what we can do together, because that also gives us a plan to plan forward on what we do. And it also helps us in monitoring what impacts that we are doing. His Excellency said about legacy projects that will be for generational, and that's what we are looking for at Christian Aid. So I think this month we have signed new agreements also with our partners in Makueni. ADS here, Pastor Lydia is here. We've also just signed new projects with them. I think, Dr. Lydia, you'll be getting around 50,000 pounds. The pound is now very strong. So I think that's several. And then Kitise, we've also given new grants to that, and cereal growers. So within the next 6 months, we would like them to spend around 33 million in Makueni County within the next 6 months. So we are hopeful that these partnerships will continue. And and this is necessitated because of our financial period, which will start next year, March. Then we can talk. So this is just money for this. For this year. And I was telling the chief officer earlier that Christian Aid, we will write a new and this money, and they want to see how it is being used. So that is one of the things that we want to remain accountable, want to remain transparent, but most of all in terms of monitor doctors, like Jacaranda team said there. So those are things that we're going to do and see how to innovate. Kweke and Oma Makueni Mbe. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Janet. At this point, I'd like to see if we have any questions from the audience that would like to pose to any of our 4 panelists who are from different sectors. So we have Mr. Enrico from the agriculture sector. We have Ms. Janet from the water sector, right? And then we have Paul and Joseph from health. So any questions for our panelists, any comments? I see some activity over there.
Please raise your hand if you have a comment or a question so that we can get the mic to you.
We have one back at the back.
Karibu.
If you could please introduce yourself, your name and your organization.
Thank you. My name is Caspar Pedro from MasterCard Foundation. A quick one is, and I'm not so sure to whom this would go to. It's beautiful to see the strategy that Makueni County has developed. But taking me back into what we as a country is struggling with, which is about 1 million young people getting into the labor market, out of which only about actually less than 20% getting into formal employment. The rest remained unemployed, are underemployed, and a lot of times get on small, medium, micro, MSMEs programs and all that. I would have loved to hear more of what the county government is doing with youth employment or anything that actually stimulates youth employment in the county. Thank you.
Thank you, Caspar. We could take one or two other questions before we pose them.
Any hands?
Okay. So this is directed to the county. Is it to the Department of Trade? Is there a Department of Youth? The Waziri I know is Paul. So Paul, where does that question go? Not to you. Or to finance. Damaris was here earlier and she outlined the county integrated development plan. So Damaris, will you take that question? Thank you, Damaris.
Yes, thank you. We have a program that had started earlier for youth. Of course, we have several, but one which I want to say will make impact is the Makueni youth and people, the marginalized. We call it in a short Kamba word, Teveka. And we have put a policy in it to be able to reach the youth, train them and be able to invest one of so on formulation of the policy to be able to support that. That is what we are doing. Thank you.
Thank you, Damaris. I trust that answers you. Caspar, I see another hand there. Two hands active.
And an observation and an invitation, not so much of a question. 2 years ago, Mr. Enrico was telling me of this plan, and I am very, very happy that this plan actually came to action. Similarly speaking, we do work in arid lands. My company is called AGAR Limited, which is a creative acronym for African Agency for Arid Resources Limited, which is self-explanatory. We work in Isiolo, Marsabit. West Pokot, Laikipia, and Samburu. And I don't know who's behind me being here. I received an invitation, but I never
to solve the burgeoning numbers of the youth in Makueni who are jobless. So part of that is, of course, by creating that, and this is a forum that is providing that particular space. So that is one of that. The other one is building. We have a lot of youth who are clearing different levels of education, and they come out of here without specific skills to grow their jobs. So we have a handful of that initiatives in the Department of Youth, in the Department of Infrastructure and Energy. We have the same at the Department of Trade. So we have capacity building programs that are cutting across different departments in the spirit of one government approach that has been alluded to by the Speaker, the Waziri Finance. The other bit that we are doing is we are digitizing most of our operations, and you realize we are working majorly with the Generation Z and the millennials, and there are so many opportunities in the online space. People are able to work globally, and one classical example is the Soko Makueni platform, a platform that is linking Makueni entrepreneurs to markets, vendors to markets beyond Makueni. And that is a very attractive space for our youth that we are creating to enable this happen. And there's a myriad of digitization that is happening across board, where and these programs are aimed at ensuring that we provide opportunities targeted specifically to the youth. On the TEDECA fund or the empowerment fund that we are talking about, it is going digital, so then the youth are able to access this. And then we're also moving into alternative sources of wealth. When you look at the culture, we just mentioned something about indigenous foods or digitization and documentation of indigenous knowledge. So we have been able to put that together in a view to showcase these opportunities for investment to potential investors, and also to highlight our youth on the potential that is in existence in the cultural assets that we have as a county. Finally, on the tourism space, we have mapped out our
tourism circuits, identify the gaps, and we are building the ecosystem top down. So then we are able to create opportunities for people, for the youth along the value chain, the tour guides, the tour operators, and all that. So through promotion and empowerment of these sectors through different programs, we are doing that. And sorry, finally, is on the industrial park. The industrial development strategy that we have will obviously create opportunities for the youth at various levels, because through industrialization, we'll be able to attract those investments, and through investment, we'll be able to get the youth in space. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Waziri. I see the governor's hand up.
So, okay. Can I go first? Okay. So I think what time is it? Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Peter Omolo. I work for CHAC. CHAC is Christian Health Association of Kenya, and we have presence in Makueni is being felt. We work in health, that is HIV, TB, reproductive and maternal health care. So CHAC, basically we support faith-based institutions, but again, we also work with public facilities to support in terms of capacity and health system strengthening. I just moved to Makueni. This is actually my second week. And I've been assigned to come to this meeting when our GS and CEO received invitation from the governor. When I was a bit hesitant to go there, then I was told that is the place to be. So just move. So I'm staying in Kitui, but I'm working in both Kitui and Makueni. So to my point, as we work in the health department, we have gone through the county. It's quite huge with a few opportunities and some challenges here and there. And Governor mentioned about something about the green energy and talked about selling excess to KPLC. But I can tell you, we still have some faith-based facilities. I may not really know the geographical demarcations. For example, there's a place called Kasasule. I can remember I went straight towards Kibwezi by turn off. Then before Kambu, I turned right. Then I went to another one called Kambu. So I went straight, then turned left. Then drove for several kilometers. The roads are maram but motorable. That is one thing that I have to appreciate. I can tell you the people are friendly. They're working. But one challenge we still have is power. And I think if we look at the green energy, the solar, we are in communication at CHAC to see how we can support them with solar panels. But again, in the circumstance that the county is also having excess, we can support them. Another thing is that we run a data-driven project. So data is what we use to make decisions and to plan. So we rely on internet 100%, but we still have a problem with connectivity. So we are not able to push our data to the sub-county, to the national data warehouse. I have my colleague here from Health Strat. They're very key when it comes to issues with data. So that is another area we can tap into and see how we can support those facilities. And even in terms of human resource, I think it's another area that we can still work on, see how we are going to support the faith-based facilities. I can tell you one of the counties where our operations are smooth are the Lower Eastern, because we work directly with the counties. All operations, all financial operations sit within the county.
Thank you. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you very much.
Thank you, Amolo. Amolo has outlined some of the issues that are still outstanding around ICT that we need to work with the county government to streamline so that organizations such as yourself and others can have an easier time in Makueni. You'll allow me to take, there was a question or comment from the governor, and then we will wrap up the session. Governor.
Thank you. I wanted to say something to the gentleman who was from MasterCard. Now, when we got into government, there are some regulations we passed at the Senate that speaks to the relationship between the revenue and recurrent expense on employment. By the time of the revenue and recurrent expense on employment. By the time I was elected, the revenue and recurrent expense on employment. By the time I was elected, every department is mainstreaming youth. So the fundamental question for trade, where is youth? Fundamental question for agriculture, where is youth? Fundamental question for ICT, where is youth in your plan? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Governor. I think you've reminded us that the youth are the majority. Asante sana. I'd like to wrap up our panel, but I had seen one last hand up. And since I meet Andrew in other forums, he'll kill me there. So Andrew, please go ahead.
Thank you very much. My name is Andrew Nyandigisi. I am the colleague from HealthStrat. It has been mentioned 3 times, so it behooves me just to speak. I just was trying to avoid speaking after my good colleague here because I didn't have a solution for mango waste. But I do have a solution for something else. HealthStrat is an indigenous organization that deals with health system strengthening. And I'm also not sure why I'm here is because we're not directly working with Makueni yet, but there was something that was in the offing that I think somebody thought it's of value. So the solution that we're offering Makueni was about rationalizing on what it is we've learned in other platforms to use it to rationalize some of the commodities that we're spending in terms of our budgets. I mentioned 30% of the drugs that we buy are actually wasted. That's what we do in HealthStrat. We help you show what you need to buy and what you don't need to buy by simply leveraging on the data systems that you provide. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Andrew. Health is indeed the biggest budget line for the county government, and medicines right there after human resources for health. So I think you should pick up that discussion. I see Waziri Dr. Paul Musila here. I think that's really critical, and it's also a key interest for the governor. So at this point, you'll allow me to wrap up this discussion. I think we've had a fantastic panel. A round of applause, please. And I'll just ask each of our panelists to give us a parting shot on what's your vision of success. So this is a 1-2 liner at most. What would you want to see as the future of partnerships in Makueni? We'll start with you, Joseph.
Thank you very much. I know all of you remember Millennium Development Goals. And one of the reasons why Millennium Development Goals was not met is because when sustainable goals were being developed, 17 of them, all of them were based on partnership. And my future or my vision for success for Makueni County to moving forward, can we work together to ensure that we propel Makueni County to meeting its sustainable goal targets? For me, that one means accountability, and Makueni is way ahead of that because of Waonyuakwe Kanesa na Olongalu. Point number 2 is sustainability. I'm looking at how can we as partners one day have Makueni playing the lead role in receiving the resources that partners and donors are providing. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Joseph. Can see you're clearly trying to work yourself out of a job. Asante sana, Mr. Nyatai.
Yeah, thank you. I think for me, it's really how we invest in the soft side of things. And I think in the discussions we have had, leadership, for example, is investing in building the capacity of leadership, because it's at all levels, not just at governance, that level, but like how do you build the capacity for leadership at all levels? Because we do appreciate that's important, and equally important if you're investing, for example, in roads, you're investing in health, you're investing. How do you also invest in leadership capacity so that your whole value chain as a county or counties can really be strong? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Joseph. How do you invest in the soft skills, the software, things such as leadership capacity? Asante. Janet.
Okay, so for us, our vision for Makueni, I think we had earlier, we are feeding the world. So I think from here, that's our rallying call on the projects that we do that build resilience. And I hope that, I know we said a government that cries for its people. We hope for a government that smiles with its people because of the success by keeping hope alive. Thank you.
I love that. I hope you're all smiling. A government that smiles with its people. Thank you, Janet. Enrico.
There is a list, but just to summarize, I think it's important the capacity building for the future, because if you create the opportunity for the younger generation, but also for the other people, this is fundamental for the future. For an investor, we need reliability, we need stability in the relationship, and of course, common vision. Apart leadership, what we already told, etc. This, I think, is the secret to obtain a very good result. And proactivity. You never sleep behind something. You always check what is the next target, the next objective.
Thank you very much, Mr. Enrico. I think the theme from our panelists and also from the questions that we had from the audience is similar. Leadership, accountability, having a shared vision between partners and the county government, the need for reliability, a partner that we can trust. So as with all great conversations, we are running out of time and we'll have to pause there. So I'd like to give let's give a big round of applause to all our panelists. Asanteni sana. As we walk back to our seats, I'll hand over to Kapombe. Thank you very much for your engagement.
Thank you, Dr. Hari, for that insightful engagement. called upon to give a round of applause. It reminds me of this video that I saw on Instagram about corporate MCs, corporate events, and Harambe events. We call for bouquets, we'll call for rain, we'll just make all these accounts. Kindly, let's just give a hearty clap to the panel that has completed this session. I'd like to give this opportunity to the chair lady Tanathi Mheshimiwa Regina Ndambuki to make a few remarks, and then we will hand over to our discussant today, and that's Professor Ludeki Chweya. Karibu sana. I'm told that I should call her the chairperson and not. Aha, okay, chairperson. Samahani.
Your Excellency Governor Mutula Kilonzo, or other friends and partners, the county government of Makueni. I will not say good afternoon. I have listened. Kwani hasi watu wa Makueni, si hata mnasikia mzuri. You know, in Kikamba, there's a proverb in Kikamba which says, ng'ombe wasiabala yekitata. No, mwakamba. Wale komete. I want to say this. I'm just 1 year after I was appointed to be the chairperson of Tanavi Water and Development Agency. It took me about even 6 months to go around and check what programs we have in Ukambani, because apart from the 3 counties, we still have Kajiado who are with us. And sometimes they feel as if they're outside because this is Ukambani, and me being a Kamba, chairperson Kamba, and a CEO is a Kamba, there's that kind of feeling. If there's anyone from Kajiado, I want to promise you, this is national government work. It is not about the county. Me, I want to appreciate my governor. We are not doing politics here. You are my governor because I voted for you. Because I knew one day you change Makueni to be what it is today. And I am sure people who are working with the governor who are there, you have seen a very great change. Governor, we are very proud of you. You have really changed Makueni. And I'm telling you, other 47 counties, Makueni is a count to watch. Because the way you are moving with your team, I want to tell you, in 2 years' time, everyone will be ending to Makueni to go and learn how to work. I want to say this. When I went around, I was trying to check which projects, the mega projects, which are in Makueni County, or the 4 counties. And unfortunately, before devolution, many projects went to Machakos and the Kitui. Actually, in Makueni, I didn't find any mega project, except Thwake. And the Thwake, this is a project, even during the other government, we have been pushing, and also this time. I want to announce here, His Excellency the President William Ruto is very keen in the next 2 years or 18 months to make sure Wake is implemented, it is working. Currently, he has advertised, he has requested the minister to advertise Wake under PPP. And already there is a contractor. Very soon, or early January, because he's very keen about Wake, because of Kansas City and the 3 counties. And the beneficiary of Pwake is Makueni County. So, apart from these small dams like Kamunyolo, is it called Kamunyolo? Yeah, Kamunyolo, I know now it is the one which is supplying water to Water Town. And the other areas like markets, they are still have that problem. We have money, it's only we are waiting for supplementary. We wanted to expand Kamunyolo so that even during the dry season, Water Town will not lack water. Secondly, we have put 2 boreholes, which we are waiting for Bwake, from Bwake to, and others for Water Town. Because I know water, there are hospitals, there are markets, there are factories, and other areas really need clean water. So I'm just telling you, God willing, January. Because Bwake has got 3 components. And the government, I know you have a Department of Agriculture. Although we are working with the national government, our argument was Estanad Water the Development Agency. During that time, it was initiated by Tanad when Mudui was there and other people. And sometimes this project moved to national government. They were claiming the capacity. But I want to assure you, we have lobbied Tanad Water and Development Agency. We are going to work together with the national government to deliver Pwake. And because that is my agenda, as the person who comes from Makueni, after my term ends, I will have nothing to tell Makueni people. If I was unable to deliver Pwake, I will be unable to deliver another thing in Makueni. You get what I mean? And the good thing, I've talked to His Excellency, is really supporting. We have got 3 components in Pwake. There is the water supply, irrigation, and hydro. And I'm telling you, with the good work governor is doing his team, working together, we will deliver Makueni. People from Makueni will be selling food from. So please, when it comes, support this project. We have got subject will be, I don't know where this factory Amango is. What is the area called? Kalamba. And I was in Kalamba, he promised them. But the project will be where the mango factory is, so that at least we can also promote that. I have decided to partner with the Governor Makueni, regardless of political affiliate. Excellence told me work with Mutula Kilonzo, because I can see this guy is focused. Truly, with at least team who are sitting here, you will not be where you are, Kilonzo. So that at least you hold him and support him. What you are doing, I've never met. Me, I've been in Makueni. I'm just thinking Makueni is another county. Yeah, and I've seen you have attracted so many partners who want to partner with the county. And I want to assure you, as long as I'm there. Now my focus this time, water, small dams, whatever we are going to do, I'll focus on Makueni. Whoever want to report, I say I will focus on Makueni. Can go ahead. I'll tell you, make sure you give Makueni people water. And I want to tell you as I stand here, because I'm working with the governor and the team, we will water. I want to say a lot. My CEO is coming with a booklet like this. He's going to expand and explain the plan we have. Count on me. I work with Makueni. I like it. Leaders who are focused, like Mutula Kilonzo. And I'm telling you as I finish, if there's anybody who is thinking one day you sit down and challenge Mutula, I'm sorry, you are not born yet. Mutula is there to stay. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you, Chairperson Tanathi, Mheshimiwa Regina Ndambuki. Thank you. And at this juncture, I know it's just about lunch, but we have one more presentation by the Director General from the Kenya School of Government, Professor Ludeki Chweya. Kindly let us give him a hearty round of applause as he gives.
Mubea muno. Honorable Governor of Makueni County, His Excellency Mutula Kilonzo Jr., who I must disclose up front that is my friend, and each time I mention this to people listening to me, I realize their respect for me goes up quite a bit. And so, Honorable Governor, if I am respected at all around here, you have contributed to that, and feel free to send me an invoice. I will honor it. Thank you very much for inviting us to this important meeting. I was in Makueni only a couple of hours ago when we were planting I was in Makueni only a couple of hours ago when we were in Makini. And so we traveled there and we planted the trees. Then on our way back, there was quite a bit of shopping, green groceries at Emali. I had people call it email. So, and so we bought a lot of stuff there, which means that farming is truly doing well in Makueni. Restaurants and the people are from it. So we went up to Sultan. We realized we had spent more than, and so in short, from my experience, Makueni is really doing well. But while at, before I go into my remarks, while at Makini, the tree planting site, I met up with some officers who are in my ministry some years back. And they were officers at the Makueni prison. And then I reminded them that even me, I have brought some development in Makueni. There was no prison there at that time. But this might be a controversial development project. But I'm so sure that the farmers around that facility now have market for their produce. And therefore, on closer inspection, it's actually a development project. And so congratulations, Your Excellency, Governor Mutula Kilonzo Jr. for convening the second annual Partners Conference on this occasion. The Wednesday, 15th November 2023. We were here in the other facility. We were in this kind of meeting, the first conference, where much about a socio-economic transformation of Makueni County was discussed. And important targets were set. And workable implementation matrices were drawn. And listening to presentations since morning in this forum, I'm truly pleased to see, to realize, to note that that there has been much progress, much has been realized in the area of healthcare, water, agriculture, trade, education, technical training, and many others. And even municipalities are being developed. The presentations also show that many development partners truly came forward to support Makueni County following last year's conference. Now, the lesson, in my view, that we could take home is that partnerships and collaboration, they work for a county. And what makes it work is really the reality that, and this is arguable, and I believe it is the case, that the world has enough resources for everyone. Everyone can benefit sufficiently and comfortably from the resources that exist in the world today. But it's not the case that everyone is truly benefiting around the world. Some corners are benefiting way more. They have excess, and other corners around the world have far less than they need. When I went to university in Canada, and at the end of the academic year, about 30th April, students who had rented facilities around the campus and were closing, going home for summer, and they were dumping on the streets the properties they had and used throughout the year, microwaves, and so on and so forth, sofa sets, desks, television sets. They were dumping on the street because they were going home. When they return the next academic year, they'll make fresh purchases. And at that time, I had not seen a microwave. They hadn't come to Kenya much. And then I saw sofa sets dumped, and so on. So I said, if only I had a container, I would collect all of these valuable items and ship them home where we have scarcity. But look, in that society, they were dumping. My point is, the world has enough resources for all human beings. What matters is our ability to mobilize all of these resources and channel them from where there is plenty to where there is scarcity, and everyone will realize development and high standards of living. And so success in mobilizing resources through partnerships depends on what the government of Makueni has done today. Mobilized potential partners who have different capacities to mobilize resources from different parts of the world and channel these resources to Makueni County, where we need the resources so that the people of Makueni can also realize social and economic transformation. Now, what it takes is only initiative which Makueni County has been able to take. We have in Makueni County progressive leadership that has made this possible. The many presumably important meetings I had to cancel just for Makueni, you won't believe it. And I know that this is true for so many people seated in this room today. Now, Governor Mheshimiwa Mtula Kilonzo Jr., you really must be a bit careful in the future, because if you call us, we will come. And so you should, even if it is midnight, tutakuja. So it's for you to be careful with us, not because we will come. So it's for you to be gentle with us. We will come. The point is, we will always respond positively to your call. We have listened to the different targets that have been set out in the CIDP, and I believe that the partners assembled in this conference today have listened keenly and have identified those targets that they would like to associate themselves with. And the Kenya School of Government, we are not a development partner. We are not quite a development partner, but maybe with a different definition, we might just fall somewhere not far away from there. And so we have identified capacity development as a corner we will join in, partner with Makueni County, and to provide, to strengthen, because we already are working with the Makueni County and we appreciate the support. that Makueni County is giving Kenya School of Government and the partnership we have between the county government and the Kenya School of Government in capacity building. But the point here, we are going to strengthen that partnership and we are going to intensify the programs that we run for Makueni County, because Makueni County has already appreciated, and not all counties do this, appreciated the importance of knowledge, of skills, and competencies in development, because knowledge and competencies matter. No matter how grand your development plans are, or how grand your CIDP is, it might not quite be implemented successfully if you do not have the right skills, the right competencies in your county government to make it happen. Because development is driven by people, not by plans as such. And so Makueni, county government of Makueni appreciates this, which is why we have a partnership with that county. And so all I'm saying here today is that we will strengthen this partnership and to build the capacity of the public officials in the county government of Makueni, capacity that we feel is already, in fact, really, really high. And so, if you are here at this meeting, it means that you have high regard and deep thoughts for Makueni County. Therefore, let us pick one or more of the targets that have been shared here, around which we can forge partnerships and support the county government of Makueni in its effort to transform social and economic life of the people over there. With those few remarks, I thank you for listening to me, and I was advised that this now becomes a plenary session where you are free to contribute your thoughts to some of the ideas already shared, either by me or mostly by others who came.
Kindly feel free, raise your hand if you have something to say. And at this juncture as well, let me recognize the presence of the Makueni County Assembly Speaker, Douglas Bilo. Karibu sana.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Professor. Indeed, that was really moving. I also, with the permission of His Excellency, recognize the minority leader, Makueni County Assembly, Honorable Kalonda, and Honorable Pia, Chairman Budget, Makueni County Assembly, is also here with us. Mine, Your Excellency, is to truly appreciate this juncture, the second annual partnership conference. It is only happening in Makueni. I remember the man from Jacaranda said that he serves in 22 counties, but he has only seen it in Makueni. Governor, you always tell people they'll go to heaven. You will find you there, because this is a very good gesture. One thing that has moved me, seriously speaking, is a gentleman, I forgot his name. Let me call you, that man, I forgot his name. You know, he said he didn't know who invited him. He just got a text. But what he has, imagine aloe vera and mangoes to make cosmetics for women. In fact, you should be seated near you, somewhere there. Is it for men or women? For cosmetics? Oh, okay. For So I believe that this is a very good opportunity to have such visitors, Your Excellency. And also when Enrico, okay, although he has left, you know, he talked about that oil castor oil. It is making our farmers get something for their pockets. And he's also doing that other one. I think I forgot the name in English, but botanical name is Ndulu. Botanical. You know, yeah, that one. So he's also making our farmers do something. You know, it's really encouraging, Your Excellency. And it's also a privilege to have the chairperson, Regina Ndambuki, And I don't know whether you are with us at Makiendo. When I said mambo ni matatu, maji, water, na kiu. And now that I've seen you here, just choose one out of the three, and we shall be comfortable. Finally, as I sit down, the partners can trade freely in Makueni because they are protected by law. In 2018, there was that Investment Authority Act that is in place, and also, you know, the PPP Act, the national government, national parliament, which we also amended in Makueni. So let them know that they are protected by law, and we shall always look for other laws to make sure they are comfortable. Otherwise, if another government comes in and is rock government, thank God that the next 10 years for Excellent Mutula Kilonzo is protected. So we can work on that area of making the legislative. I am really moved with this kind of arrangement. God bless us.
Thank you very much. Further comments, interventions, please. We'll skip lunch, don't worry.
Good afternoon. My name is Wausi, and I am at the Kenya Tourism Board. But maybe more importantly, I come from Makueni, from Kilome, and I am extremely deliberate about being a friend of the government of Makueni. Now, when people asked us why we were supporting the governor to leave the Senate to go and become our governor, we said, this governor has so many friends. Everybody is calling him, bring up this law, and he continued running the Senate. And we said, if he brought all these friends to Makueni, what can really happen? And today is a testimony that he actually came with his friends to the county. Now, my challenge is to just one, to the donors and you know, those that are, you know, supporting Makueni. The governor mentioned something about the SGR passing through the whole of Makueni and leaving us behind without any skills. Now, the whole of Makueni and leaving us behind without any skills. Now, public health is kilometers. So imagine an expectant mother coming from that dispensary at Makueni Primary heading to Mutungu, but in the event that there is somebody who is very well grounded in some health skills within the village, then that becomes very helpful. Thank you so much, Makueni County, for taking donor stewardship so seriously. It is very important just to build these relations. And from where I sit at national government, I'm always very happy to support you, especially through Engineer Nyamai, whom I work very closely with.
Thank you very much. Oh, what's that? Yes.
Good afternoon, everyone. And thank you so much, Your Excellency, for acknowledging us. My name is Judith Okech from Ambulex Solutions Limited. So what we typically do is provide pre-hospital care for especially low-income families. And how we do this is we embed people we call emergency medical technicians who live within communities, and what they do is within 15 minutes, just as you're talking about response, quickly respond to issues. Especially we have a focus on mothers and children. So we want to ensure that mothers are safe and are able to access healthcare as soon as possible. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Further contributions? All right, here.
Thank you very much, Mheshimiwa. My name is Joyce Mutua. I'm the County Executive Committee member in charge of agriculture, irrigation, livestock, fisheries, and corporate development. Very happy to hear the deliberations coming through for agriculture. And I just wanted to highlight for a few what His Excellency mentioned about the agripreneur program, where we're looking at young people and growing them to entrepreneurs doing business. We have already nurtured some who are already becoming millionaires. We have a team of 60 that reported to school on the 6th of this month, and we intend, it's a 3-month program. Thereafter, they move for another 3-month mentorship. So we're looking by time graduates, can we partner to have another team? We are going to have our farmers reached through a school, a farmer field school model, so that it's not just extension as usual, but mentorship towards farmer field school model, where the farmers will be reached for specific value chains. Remember the value chains that we talked about. On fertilizer, part of the challenge we were struggling with was we have 3 fertilizer depots. And because of that, then access to those fertilizer depots became a challenge. Farmers were spending 3 days sleeping over just to see if they can access fertilizer. We have come up with a program of taking these satellite depots closer to the farmers, and we're looking for partners to be able to upscale that so that more of our farmers are able to access. We're looking for either stationed within those walls or even mobile solutions. So we're looking for how we can partner for that. Irrigation was mentioned here. And we've realized with our bigger agenda of feeding the world, we cannot feed the world if we are unable to, if we are only relying on rain-fed agriculture. And therefore, irrigation is, we have already mapped out potential sites of 130 sites for irrigation development. We have about 30 of them under development in various stages. We're looking for partners to see how we can deliver this, including the last mile. On mango, which is our flagship value chain, we are looking for partners to help us with a solution on the fruit fly. We've already mapped out and created what we call low pest zones. And with that, we are able to export our mango, which previously was not going to the export market. We are now able to export and attract better prices for our farmers. Those who are exporting are being paid about 25 shillings, 40 shillings a piece. Those who are not able to access that market because of the fruit fly, they are being paid 5 shillings or 8 shillings a kilo, where a kilo is 3 pieces. And therefore, we're looking for partners. The county government has put in money to this program. We're looking for partners to see how we can just expand this and cover more farmers. So thank you very much for coming. We'll be looking forward to see how we can farm up those kinds of discussions. Thank you very much.
Asante sana CEC.
All protocols observed. Good afternoon. My name is Jennifer Chumwa, Makueni County Office of County Attorney, the County Solicitor. My issue is to assure our partners, both current and the prospective partners, that the Office of the County Attorney, from where I sit, that the political issues should not make you to shy away, for reason that we are going to put every documentation in place so that now you may be protected. Your tenure may be protected for the period you endeavor to work with the county government of Makueni. Secondly, I also wish to state that as an office, we are also working with the relevant departments, especially the Department of Lands and the Environment, to ensure that all the documentations for those partners who want to put in structures for industrialization, which would involve getting ownership documents for land within Makueni County, that you get them rightly, so that now there will be value for your investment within the county. Also, to assure the departments who want to work with the youth in the county that the main challenge with our involvement of our youth is that there is lack of ownership documents, especially for title deeds. You remember that in Makueni, we have a challenge of most of the title deeds, they are owned by our grandparents, who most of them, they have died. And the youth, many of our fathers, they don't want to give title deeds to their children when they are alive. That becomes a challenge for the youth to be able to access bank facilities so that they may be able to support their projects. With that, I call upon partners who are willing to partner with our office, that is the Office of the County Attorney, so that we may assist the people of Makueni County to get the people of Makueni, that we may help them in the succession process in the court, and that our people may be able to get the documentation. Also, the other issue is many people are investing without proper documentation, or they are not aware of the legal implications of investing without getting proper legal advice. With that, you will find that someone loses a mega investment, and that calls for us to go interact with the community. We tell them what the law states, and this would involve us partnering with like-minded partners, so that now we may go back and in simple language tell our people what the law says, and now they make decisions from a point of information. Thank you.
Sana. Yes, karibu.
Thank you. My name is Dr. Paul Musila. I'm the Waziri for Health. And just to mention, in response to the question about the deliveries, we celebrate the fact that we are at 92%. We have not forgotten that out there, and we are putting measures to ensure that we can actually improve on that figure. So it's true that we will continue to go out and put in efforts. Also, partly we are in discussion with Ambulex, and we are concluding that in the next few days to see how we can actualize what she has just mentioned. Then we have the CHPs, 3,600 who are out in the community. I think we'll probably need to sit down with my team very quickly and see, as we reorganize them, can we begin now to attract some of our retired, people from the health facilities into these programs, and we can have them as champions, Ramka champions in the communities. As we celebrate our World Prematurity Day this Friday, we welcome you to Makueni in the Mother and Child Hospital. We'll be hosting the national celebrations on Friday 17th. That is something we hold dear, that the fact, maternal and child health. Thank you.
Thanks, Sana. Next colleague there.
Good afternoon. Your Excellency, my name is Catherine Mwangi. I work for VSO, Voluntary Service Overseas in Kenya. We love Makueni. Makueni is a center of excellence. And I want to say from the word go that the best performing child is the one who faces a lot of challenges, because everybody wants to see you staying up there. But it's very good to see that you have so many people with you to work with you. For VSO, we are in the spaces of equity and inclusion, and therefore we promote a lot of citizen participation and engagement. We support accountability and governance, and therefore we are working with most of your departments in strengthening systems. but also we do resilience building. And I think this is across the household, the individuals, but also the systems. Two things I want to bring to the floor is the capacity to continue enhancing citizen participation from equity and inclusion point of view. And there is a point that was made by Janet from Church Aid, and she mentioned about Christian Aid, about persons with disability, those who are farthest left behind. And I keep wondering how best that can be enhanced. I know you're already doing great in citizen participation. There's a lot of ward engagement, community level engagement, but I think it's still a challenge out there just to bring everybody around the table and to have their voices represented. And then the second point I wanted to make is very close. Second point I wanted to make is very closely related.
He has managed to have some storage facilities, about 10 of them, which fills within 10 hours. Then from there, we do what we call rationing. The idea of devolution here is to extend the existing water network to the households. This way, we are going to reduce the 5 kilometers we are talking of right now to 2 kilometers by the year in 2013 to almost the 7th. If, this is I say, if all the capacity building, we are partners in development of the existing systems, and partners, I've had a partner who is working in Isiolo. He says he can also come to us. Please welcome to Makueni, and I welcome you in the Department of Water. Water is the main, as he has said, Bwana Chalomomo, is the main agenda of Makueni. It will improve the water access. It will improve the agriculture nutrition policy. It will improve the universal health care. Water is life. Thank you very much.
Sanda Muno. There is one last presenter, colleague to make a contribution. Proceed.
Oh, thank you so much. My name is Carmichael Lumondi. I work for Fred Ollos Foundation. I think one of the few eye health organizations here. First of all, Bwana Governor, Your Excellency, I want to thank you most sincerely for being a very great host to our board of directors, international board of directors, who visited Makueni in September. We were very confident because we were also informed and we knew that Bill Gates had been there before. So we were sure our board of directors are going to have it nice. They are very grateful. Actually, your letter went to them and they're wondering whether you thought they're still around the country. So I'm here on the strength of a letter to our board chair lady. My point is this: in eye health, we say quality matters, and I believe in all other health sectors as well. And we are not jealous as an organization. We are very happy to work with other organizations, and that's why we are all here. So what are we urging? We know many other players are in Makueni and will continue to come. Everybody is saying the best things about Makueni County. But let's look at quality, particularly of the outcome of eye health interventions. In eye health, we say, if you cannot improve the vision, in other words, if you got a vision at a certain level, and it is worse after a surgery, you should have not actually done it because it works against even the demand. Nobody else will come for that intervention if they hear that their neighbor went checked into the hospital and their surgery got worse after that. So we are very willing to work with the county government of Makueni, the Department of Health, and all the other stakeholders to improve on the protocol and measuring measuring standards. Because the standard can only be one. We can very many different donors and funders, but the standard can only be one. As I speak, already we are having a very huge workshop in Nairobi now going on. Over 20 counties are there. I believe Makueni surgeons are also there. And they are learning on continuous quality improvement. So let us work together to ensure that whoever supports eye health interventions in Makueni County has a particular specific standard that will ensure that the quality is maintained. Thank you so much.
Santi, the timekeeper says that was the last contributor to the debate during this plenary, but there will be many more plenary sessions after lunch before the day ends. And so I just would like to wrap up and say that a county that shows determination and commitment to the realization, to the pursuit and realization of the objects of devolution and to bring about real positive change for the local people must be supported. It has to be made to be exemplary for others to pick up lessons from, and thus to realize transformation across the country. But there's one area of partnership, Honorable Governor. Honorable Governor, there's one area of partnership no one mentioned. And that's my last point contribution, which is that one time in our home in Western, some villagers came over to my house and brought documents for their sons and daughters looking for jobs. You know how it works. And so the guy came in and handed the documents to me and said, he has a son and a daughter. So when I read the names on the documents, I saw Susan Duku, then I saw Dennis Mutuku. And I said, but I thought you said they were your sons. Then he said, yes, you know, the man's from Makueni. And then one time, again, we went over in Western to our home there, and a primary school, no, I think ECD school pupils came to entertain us, and so the leader stepped forward and said, we have a poem for you, and my name is Mudeu. So I said, so Honorable Governor, thank you so much for letting your people enter partnership with the people of Western. And we look forward to forging this partnership so that together we can be a strong nation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor. And in the spirit of those partnerships that Professor Chue has talked about, it is prudent to mention that Makueni County is the first county to initiate the development of a strategic partnerships and intergovernmental relations policy. Can we clap for that? And there's something else Professor Chue has said, that Governor, you will have a big problem. When you invite us, we will come. And I think that's a good problem. And we can see that there are about 3 people who wanted to make a comment, and each one said, just 1 minute, just 1 minute. But in the interest of time, naomba tuende, tupate chamcha, ama chamchana, that's lunch, and then we come back to the hall. I just want to let you know that there are gift bags on your left as you walk out. Kindly pick your gift bag, then look right, walk straight on past the pool, and then you will see the tables that are clearly labeled for Makueni County. Tuendeni tule chakula. Kuna wale wanaosikia njaa. Mnasikia ama mnahisi njaa? Watu wa Makueni mnajua Kiswahili. Manake mngesema mnasikia njaa, ningewaambia mzibe masikio tuendelee na plenary. Karibuni lunch. So we can pray for lunch. You'll indulge me. I'm Catholic, so let's pray. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. Bless us, O Lord, and these thy gifts which we are about to receive from your bounty through Christ our Lord. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Karibuni.